Good evening, everyone. I am Ellen Myers, the Programs and Communications Director for the Newton Free Library. Thanks for tuning in for Blues and Poetry at the Harlem Renaissance with Robin O'Haron. This program is supported in part by a grant from the Newton Cultural Council local agency, which is supported by the Mass Cultural Council, a state agency. I hope you'll take advantage of all that the library has to offer. Please feel free to come by for a visit or make use of any of our many digital resources on our website, newtonfreelibrary.net. This is an interactive session during which Robin will invite participants to read some of Langston Hughes' poetry that was emailed earlier today. Your participation is completely voluntary. When it's time, please use the raised hand feature to indicate that you'd like to read, and I will call on you. Watch the chat. I'll be putting a couple of links in about how to sign up for library email newsletters and also for what's happening at the library in terms of programs for adults next week. Robin O'Haron specializes in historically rich, often interactive concerts that include original and traditional American music for schools, libraries, and small listening rooms. The concerts are warm, affirming experiences she shares with the audience. Robin has appeared with Paul Karemia, Andy Cohen, Roy Bookbinder, and performed in Europe and across the U.S. Before I turn the screen over to Robin, I'm going to ask anyone that has a mobile device with them to please silence it at this time. And now I invite you to take it away, Robin.
Thank you so much, Ellen. I just am so glad to be here with you guys, and I'd like to thank the Newton Free Library, and I'd like to thank the Newton Cultural Council for making this event possible, and I hope you guys have as much fun as I'm going to. So, starting with a little tune. And I've shortened a lot of the songs so that we can fit in the time frame that we have. So these are shorter versions of the songs. If you ever get to see me in concert, you'll see the full versions. You better come on in my kitchen. It's gonna be raining outdoors. The man I love, I crave to see. He's gone up country, won't write to me. He better come on in my kitchen. It's gonna be raining. When a woman's in trouble, everyone throws her down, looking for a good friend, none can be found. You better come on in my kitchen. It's gonna be raining. Hear that wind. You better come on in my kitchen. It's gonna be raining outdoors. I know he's gone, he won't come back. He took my last nickel out of my nation's sack. He better come on in my kitchen. It's gonna be raining outdoors. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, yeah, I'm Robin O'Hara, and I'm so glad to be here and going to talk and play about the Harlem Renaissance. So, the Harlem Renaissance was literally an intellectual, social, and artistic explosion that took place in Harlem, New York from 1918 to about 1937. It was a blossoming of the creative arts, such as literature, music, dance, theater, film, fine art, and it was the most influential movement in African American literature. We're going to talk a lot about the poetry of Langston Hughes. So the performing arts were integral in the Harlem Renaissance. The blues permeated that poetry, and blues music was already played in juke joints all over the South, and it was reaching a broader audience in vaudeville, and it kind of preceded and overlapped the time of the Harlem Renaissance. For example, in 1923, Bessie Smith recorded her debut record, Downhearted Blues, and it sold 800,000 copies, which is crazy. I'm going to share my screen. I have a slideshow here. So this is the slide 2. And actually, before we do the movers and shakers, I'm going to play you a Bessie Smith tune. Bessie Smith was amazing, and I actually learned to sing blues by listening to Bessie Smith. They didn't have microphones, so she did shout blues. Took me a long time to learn I didn't have to shout everything. Went down to the river, sat beneath that willow tree. Dewdrops from those willow leaves, Lord, let them roll right over me. And that's the reason got the weeping willow blues. Climbed up on a mountain, high as every gal could be. Looked down on that engine that took my loving man from me. And that's the reason got the weeping willow blues. Well, if you're broken hearted and your man is out of town, just go down to the river, take a chair and let's sit down. And if he don't come back to you, I'll tell you what to do. Forget about that boy because he ain't no good to you. Of course I love my man, I kiss him morning, noon and night. I stayed with him through thick and thin, I tried to treat him right. But now he's gone and left me after all I tried to do. The way he treats me, gals, he'll do the same to you. And that's the reason got the weeping willow blues. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Tiger. My cat likes blues. All right, so we're going to go back to the slideshow, and we're going to talk some about the movers and shakers. So W.E.B. Du Bois was born February 23rd, 1868 in Great Barrington, 2 towns over from me, different century. But he was one of the most important African-American activists during the first half of the 20th century. He co-founded the NAACP, and he supported Pan-Africanism. And Langston Hughes, born February 1st, 1902, was an American poet, playwright, and his African-American themes made him a primary contributor to the Harlem Renaissance. Yeah, and he in his poems and in blues music, it painted a picture in music of a slice of American history. And I also want to let you guys know that this slideshow will be available because there's links in it. If you want to do more research about the Harlem Renaissance, you can contact Ellen, and she can send you the slideshow. So Aaron Douglas was the most celebrated Harlem Renaissance artist, and he was often called the father of Black American art. He adapted African art techniques to realize paintings, murals, and book illustration. Paul Robeson was an actor, singer, writer, activist. The cultural boom in Harlem gave actors a chance to play more than just stereotypical roles. I mean, traditionally they were on vaudeville, or, they had stereotyped roles they could play, but he created a revolution in acting and opened the door for African American actors to do some serious acting, and he was amazing. Louis Armstrong, the father of the backbeat, and the backbeat is the foundation of blues and jazz and everything that came after it. To me, the backbeat is like sitting in a rocking chair and leaning way back as far as you can go, and Louis Armstrong was the master of that. So the music that percolated in Harlem and kind of oozed out into the rest of the world was jazz, mostly jazz, and it was played in speakeasies. It became a great draw, not only for the Harlem residents, but also white folks. And some of the most celebrated names in American music performed in Harlem, such as Louis Armstrong, Duke Ellington, Bessie Smith, Fats Waller, Cab Calloway, and their elaborate floor shows were just amazing. And then there were dancers. There are all kinds of dance, but tap was really big. And John Bubbles, Bill Bojangles Robinson were also really popular tap dancers. And Bill Robinson was an iconic African-American tap dancer and actor, best known for his Broadway performances and film roles. And this isn't exact. So I have been in a tap duet with a tap dancer. We were called Tappin' Blues. And it was really kind of based on, what they were doing in the 20s and 30s, the blues music and the tap. And we have had so much fun doing that. I'm so squished in this corner. But this is not a blues song, but I just felt like, in 1968, Jerry Jeff Walker wrote the song Mr. Bojangles, literally about Bill Bojangles Robinson. I don't know how much of it is true, but I wanted to play you a little bit of it because it's such a special story. Knew a man, Bojangles, and he danced for you. In worn out shoes, silver hair, ragged shirt, and baggy pants. The old soft shoe jumped so high, jumped so high. Then he lightly touched down. He danced for those at minstrel shows and county fairs throughout the South. He spoke tears of 15 years, how is dogging him. Traveled about, his dog up and died, up and died. After 20 years, he still grieved. Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles, dance. Yeah, Mr. Bojangles. Such a good song. Sorry for all the clunking. And then my cat tried to climb on the computer during that song. He likes folk. he does. So, before we, I'm going to go back to the screen share. And we're going to talk a little bit about what is the blues. So Son House, who is an amazing Delta blues guy and a preacher, he said the blues ain't nothing but a good man feeling bad. And, whoops, I skipped art and theater. Darn. Aaron Douglas, the most celebrated Harlem Renaissance artist. No, I did that. I'm sorry. I lost my place. There we go. Okay, and Reverend Gary Davis said the blues is all about telling the truth. And I love this quote from Son House. Son House said, "People keep asking me where the blues got started, and all I can say is when I was a boy, we was always singing in the fields, not real singing, more like hollering. But we made up songs about things that happened to us at the time, and that's where the blues got started." And I totally agree with that. So I think that's just amazing. And let's see. So the other thing is like the blues. So blues has specific lyrics. I'm going to stop the share for a minute. The blues has specific lyrics. It has bass lines, instruments. It has a lot of subgenres. It has country blues, urban blues, jump blues, ragtime blues, Chicago blues, and World War II marked the transition from acoustic to electric blues, which opened up blues to a wider audience, and then in the 60s and 70s it evolved into rock blues, and then out of that grew hip-hop, and all of these things have their roots in the blues, so we're going to focus on Delta and Piedmont blues because that's my focus. And also that's what Langston Hughes was listening to. So I'm just going to show you really quick a sample. Oh, so Delta blues was really popular with solo guitar players in the Delta region of the Mississippi. And they would play in open tunings, which means it's already a chord, and they would use broken bottlenecks, knives, pieces of steel, little rods, and they would slide on the strings, and it would create another voice. And in fact, in churches at that time, they thought guitar was the devil's music, but if you played with a slide, your fingers weren't touching the guitar, so it was okay. I think so. Anyway, so the Delta sound was kind of like this. It was Thank you, thank you. And Piedmont Blues. So Piedmont Delta Blues often had it either had a dead thumb bass or an alternating bass, but Piedmont Blues always had an alternating bass that was like this, and then it would have a melody line. So it would have an alternating bass and a melody line. This is the hammer that killed John Henry, but it won't kill me. No, it won't kill me. Won't kill me. So that's Piedmont Blues. It's a fingerstyle kind of blues. So all right, I'm gonna play you. So in terms of telling the truth and talking about what's going on in your life, I think that's a lot of what, there was all kinds of blues. There was happy blues. There was blues that had a lot of metaphors for other things, we'll say. and there was, just working through really hard time blues. So this is a Memphis Minnie tune, and she was the queen of the blues. She was an amazing songwriter. She had an incredible life, and this is called Too Late. Gave you a bed, made you a pad on my floor. You wanna give me a heart of gold? You're too late. Too late to weep and moan. You're too late. Too late to weep and moan. Well, you can tell your friends, baby was here, now she's gone. Me, baby, you tried to treat me mean. All you wanna do is fuss and scream. You're too late. Too late to weep and moan. You're too late. Too late to weep and moan. Well, you can tell your friends, baby was here, now she's gone. Memphis Minnie. Thank you. Thank you. So, going back to the screen share. This is a kind of lighthearted look at the blues, fundamental facts. So a good way to start a blues song is woke up this morning. Got a good woman is a bad way to start a blues song unless you're going to say, and she's the nastiest woman in town, or she only gives me turpentine to drink. If you stuck in a ditch, you're stuck in a ditch. There's no way out. Blues don't travel in BMWs, Volvos, or sports utility vehicles. Usually they will travel in Chevys, broken down pickup trucks. The best way for blues to travel is like Greyhound buses or southbound trains. They definitely never take airplanes. So if you got the blues, use Fixin' to Die. teens can't sing the blues because hopefully they just are not fixing to die yet. Adults can sing the blues, and if you're an adult means you're old enough to shoot a man in Memphis to get the electric chair. Yeah. Which brings us to gospel music. Because blues and gospel are flip sides of the same coin. And it's really, so a lot of the blues musicians, they were also, like Son House was a preacher, and he was also a blues musician. There were a lot of guys like that, and some of them, actually, they would release a blues album, and then they would release a gospel album with the same picture, but they'd change their name. Because they knew that the church folks wouldn't buy anything that had the name, their blues name on it. I think that, so I think that's just really funny. So the father of gospel music, Thomas A. Dorsey, not the band leader, he was a honky-tonk piano player called Georgia Tom, and he had an encounter with God, changed his life. He said, why should the devil have all the good music? And he invented gospel music. He literally founded gospel music academies and went all around America teaching churches how to incorporate that music into their worship. In fact, gospel, the songs that they were singing were called Dorsey's because he was so well known for it. And there's a great story about him, and he wrote, I think his best known song is Precious Lord, which was Martin Luther King Jr.'s favorite song, and Congress declared it the song of the century, the gospel song of the century. But I'm going to do a Reverend Gary Davis tune, which, I'm going to do a Reverend Gary Davis tune called Banks of the River, a little bit of one anyway. Streets of the city where my Lord has gone before. Forgot to stop the share. I'm gonna sit down by the banks of the river, and no, I won't be back no more. We're gonna have a good time when we get there. Sit down by my Savior's side. I'm gonna sit down by the banks of the river, and no, I won't be back no more. I'll be where I've got peace forever, and I won't be crying no more. I'm gonna sit down by the banks of the river, and no, I won't be back no more. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, now we're going to talk about, I'm going to go back to it's hard going back and forth. I'm going to talk about poetic techniques that are in both blues and poetry. Okay, so, and when I want you to notice them in the songs because you're going to hear them again in the poems. So alliteration is the occurrence of the same letter or sound at the beginning of an adjacent or closely connected words, like she sells seashells at the seashore. Imagery, which is visually descriptive or figurative language, used a lot in literary works and in blues music. Metaphor, where you state that one thing is another, but not literally true. It's similar to a simile. Simile is a metaphor, is like a metaphor, because similes say like or as, whereas metaphors just leave that part out. So you could say a simile would be the sky was like an angry god, and a metaphor would be the sky was an angry god. Or you better come in my kitchen because it's going to be raining outdoors. Personification, which is attributing human characteristics to inanimate objects. And we just talked about similes. Paradox is a statement or proposition that, despite apparently sound reasoning, leads to a conclusion that it doesn't make sense. It's self-contradictory. It's like, if it wasn't for bad luck, I wouldn't have no luck at all. Rhyme, correspondence of sound between words or ending of words, especially at the ends of lines of poetry or song lyrics. I had religion this day, but whiskey and women would not let me pray. That also has personification in it. Repetition. Now, repetition is really important in blues. Just in the structure, like 12-bar blues, very often the first line will repeat. So it could be, I woke up this morning feeling really bad, and then you'll say it again. And then the third line might be, my honey brought me turpentine instead of coffee. Only it would have to rhyme. And but anyway, so repetition, and the other thing that repetition does, it also drives home a point, and it helps lock things into the rhythm, because with both poetry and blues music, you want to lock the words into the rhythm of what's going on, and it makes the song or poem so much more powerful. Hyperbole are exaggerated statements or claims, and yeah. So these are just examples, like sometimes I feel like a motherless child, simile. Sun going down, dark don't catch me here. Personification. They got me accused of forgery and I can't even write my name. I guess that would be paradox. Yeah, I hear the Delta calling by the light of a distant star. That's also personification. So now let's talk about Langston Hughes. So Langston Hughes' family struggled out of poverty, and so he identified and appreciated how hard it was, and he appreciated what poor African Americans were going through as they were trying to overcome their economic circumstances. He loved African American music, which reflected those struggles and was also very popular. It was being listened to all over the country. In 1927, he traveled through the South, and during that time, there were a lot of people going south called song catchers, and they recorded, and the Smithsonian is filled with these songs that they caught. But he went with his friend Zora Neale Hurston, and she collected and recorded songs and folklore. And that's when he saw firsthand the connection between the written and the spoken word. And so Hughes' work honors blues singers, their venues and instruments. It addresses the suffering of African Americans, and it incorporates the rhythm and music of the blues. The musical and rhythmic stories are about specific events. They're local, They're personal. The subject matter includes hard times, love, lost love, oppression, alienation, and search for identity. So I'm going to play a song called Leaving Trunk. And actually, I'm going to play a song called Write Me a Few of Your Lines. And and then I'm going to ask for a reader for Blues Fantasy. So start thinking about, if you'd like to read that. So this is called Write Me a Few of Your Lines. Wrong guitar. Thank you so much.
Robin, moving along so well and really learning a lot from you, I don't really see any takers for reading a poem, so if you want, I'll do.
Okay, really, everyone's shy? I'll read the poem.
Shy. I'll take the
I'm
first.
sorry to hear that.
I'll take the first one.
All right, well, I'm going to read an excerpt from Blues Fantasy.
Okay.
Okay, so...
I'd read it, but I didn't get to print it out, so.
Oh, I could put it up on the screen here. I could share the screen if you want to read it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let me do that. Hold on, I have it ready to go.
Vicky.
It's this one, Blues, the one on the left.
Okay.
Can you see that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Blues Fantasy. Hey, hey, that's what the blues singers say. Singing minor melodies, they laugh. Hey, hey. My man's done left me, child, he gone away. My good man's left me, babe, he's gone away. Now the crying blues haunts me night and day. Hey, hey, weary, weary, trouble, pain. Sun's gonna shine somewhere again. I got a railroad ticket, pack my trunk and ride. Sing 'em, sister, get a railroad ticket, pack my trunk and ride. And when I get on the train, I cast my blues aside. I can't read the last part.
It says,
Hey, laughing. Hey, hey, laugh aloud. Hey, hey.
good job. Good job. Thank you. Thank you. So you can see, I mean, it sounds like a blues song, doesn't it? Kind of does. I'm going to play Can't Be Satisfied. And then I'm going to ask anyone else if they would like to read Weary Blues. I'm pretty sure that's the order they go in. Let me just look at that. No, Harlem Nightclub. Harlem Nightclub is next. If anyone wants to read that, I'm gonna do Can't Be Satisfied. I keep picking the wrong guitar. Sorry. Okay. Because I'm troubled and I'm worried in my mind, Lord, and I can't be satisfied. I just can't keep from crying. All in my sleep, I heard a baby call into the train, and I can't find her at all because I'm troubled. I'm all worried in my mind, and I just can't be satisfied. I, Lord, can't keep from crying. Yeah, it's a little taste of Worried Blues. I can't be satisfied. Okay, do we have another volunteer maybe?
I'll read it.
Okay.
Which poem is it? Weary Blues?
No, it was the
Nightclub?
the nightclub one.
Okay, Harlem Nightclub by Langston Hughes. Sleek black boys in a cabaret. Jazz band, jazz band. Play, play, play. Tomorrow, who knows? Dance today. White girls' eyes called gay black boys. Black boys' lips grin jungle joys. Dark brown girls in blonde men's arms. Jazz band, jazz band. Sing Eve's charm. White ones, brown ones, what do you know about tomorrow? Where all paths go. Jazz boys, play, play, play. Tomorrow is darkness. Join today.
Thank you, Ellen. That was beautiful. I'm just retuning. So I'm gonna play Trouble in Mind, which I think really captures I got trouble in mind. Lord, I won't be blue always. You know that sun's gonna shine on my back door someday. I'm going down to the river. Lord, I'm gonna bring my own rocking chair. And if them blues don't let me alone, Lord, I'm gonna rock on, darling, out of there. I got trouble, Lord, I got trouble, trouble. But that sun's gonna shine on my back door. I said that sun's gonna shine on my back door. You know that sun's gonna shine on my back door someday. Thank you. So we got two more poems. How are we doing on time? We're doing okay, right? So the next two poems are Po' Boy Blues and Weary Blues. Do we have a volunteer? Anybody? I'll read Po' Boy Blues. So
I can see that married members would like to read.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Okay.
You share, Robin. I got it.
All right.
I hope, yes, you can share screen. Great.
Yes.
Okay. Po' Boy Blues.
Oh, she's terrible.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
When I was home, the sunshine seemed like gold. When I was home, the sunshine seemed like gold.
Don't bother, love.
The whole damn world's turned cold. I was a good boy, never done no wrong. Yes, I was a good boy, never done no wrong. But this world is weary and the road is hard and long. I fell in love with a gal I thought was kind. Fell in love with a gal I thought was kind.
I don't have a picture there anymore.
Who made me lose my money and almost lose my mind. Weary, weary, weary early in the morn. Weary, weary, early in the morn. I was so weary, I wish I'd never been born.
Beautiful. Thank you. I'm gonna play a bit of one more tune. It's called Cypress Grove. It's a Skip James tune. Skip James moved to New York and hated it. So I thought it went good with that. It goes. Oh, wait. married eats of Cypress Grove, and to live in the city with a man I can't control. Well, if your knee bones are aching, your body's getting cold. If your knee bones are aching, your body's getting cold. You know you're just getting ready for that Cypress Grove. Well, I'll sing this song, and I won't sing no more. I'm gonna sing this song, and I won't sing no more. You know my time done got precious, I'm booked and gotta go. Jazz hands. Thank you. Thank you. Well, you know, we have one more poem, but if there are questions, because we only have about 6 minutes left, really, maybe a little more, but if anyone has questions, I'd like to open it for questions.
Robin, I just want to say, I've just dropped into the chat information about a program that we're having at the library tomorrow for International Women's Month.
Oh, yeah.
Happy International Women's Day to everyone. Kate Clifford Larson will be coming to speak about her book, Walk With Me, a biography of Queen Lou Hammer. And I put a link in the chat if you'd like to register. We are getting a request for the playlist. So when you send me the slides, can you send me the playlist?
Yes.
I'll be sending that out to everyone who registered for the program. And now the question is, how do you decide which guitar to play?
How do I what?
Decide which guitar to play for a particular song.
Well, some songs are Delta blues and they're played in open tunings with a slide. And some songs are Piedmont or fingerstyle blues and they're played on a fingerstyle guitar. So this is a National Steel radio tone bend away slide guitar, resonator guitar, designed just for playing Delta blues. It has a big name, but it's a big guitar. And the National Steel, actually, in the 20s, during this crazy time, they were looking for a loud guitar because they didn't have amplifiers, and they had bands. You know, they had horns and they had pianos and upright bass. And so a luthier and a slack key guitar player got together, and out of spare metal parts, this part was like hubcaps, they invented a really loud guitar. And they called them resonators, and the company was National Steel. They went out of business in the late 30s, and then they reopened in the 60s. So this is a 2005 National Steel, and everyone who worked on it signed it on the inside, 5 guys. And yeah, so that's how I decide what guitar, but I just have to remember what song I'm playing, so I grab the right one. And this guitar, you know, there's lots of fingerstyle guitars. The old blues guys used to play harmony guitars, which were Sears Roebuck catalog guitars, and they cost $25, which was a lot then, but that was the go-to guitar for all that. I had a harmony guitar for a while. They're very cool. But I had broken my thumb in 3 places, and for blues, you have to be able to put your thumb around the neck and hit that bass note. So I couldn't do that anymore, and one of my fans built me a guitar with the smallest neck in the world, and that's what this is. He calls it the round robin. I accept it, but it's a gorgeous guitar, and he made it for me just for the price of the materials, so I'm really grateful. But that's how I decide what guitar. And you know, in terms of bottlenecks, I mean, I'm so blessed. So this is a hand blown bottleneck by a company in England that you send them the measurements of your finger, and then they hand blow a beautiful thick glass bottleneck to fit your finger. It's like so cool, and yeah.
You know, we really are out of time, Robin. We'll take this one last question. It says, when did you start studying the guitar, and how did you land on the blues?
So when I was 12, my dad bought me a guitar. The strings were this high off the neck. You couldn't tune it. And I learned to play Go Tell Aunt Rhody was my first guitar song. And my dad used to pay me to not play or sing in the house. My mom was more supportive, but so that's when I started. And again, my mom was really into folk and gospel and classical, and my dad was totally into blues and jazz. So the house, just like was permeated with this music, and I was a troubled teen, and the blues just resonated with me. And you know, teenagers have a lot of time, so I would spend hours just playing guitar, and was mostly self-taught. When I decided to like take it to the next level and go and become a professional musician, I was a web and graphic designer, and I traded 2 years worth of web work for blues weekends with the masters, like these old blues guys. And I never looked back. And then I got laid off from my art director job and just wrote a business plan for music, and that's the story. I'm sticking to it.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Robin. We really have learned a lot from you. I did drop your website URL into the chat in case anybody
Oh,
wants.
thank you. Yeah.
I assume you have a calendar on there. Robin, you're an inspiration. Someone is writing, always keep singing and playing. And people are just writing in their gratitude. And I want to thank you very much, and also the Health Council for enabling us to have this awesome program.
I couldn't hear what you just said, the last part of what you said, but I want to thank everyone for coming. I'm really grateful. And thanks for listening, and it's been so much fun being with you tonight. I hope that you've really enjoyed it, and I hope it inspired you, because anyone can write a blues song or a blues poem, you know, and so think about it. I mean, I've done this for kids, and they write these incredible poems about how they hate how they hate homework, you know. I mean, the blues covers a broad spectrum, so I'm just saying, I hope that this is an inspiration for you. And thanks for having me, Ellen, and I want to thank again the Newton Cultural Council for making it possible. Thank you so much, everyone. It's been great.
Good night, everyone. Take care.